Once upon a time, in a time not so distant from now, there were 4 monks traveling across an expansive, sun-baked desert. Their feet brushed against the hot sand as they trudged onward. Each monk was devoted to a path of self-improvement and enlightenment, much akin to the journey we all embark upon in life. The sun was relentless, and the air pulsed with heat like a living entity. Yet, the monks pressed on, for they were bound for a nearby monastery where they believed their hearts would be further nourished. After many hours of walking, as the sun began to dip toward the horizon, illuminating the sky with shades of gold and crimson, the monks arrived at a swift-flowing river. The water was turbulent, sparkling under the fading sun, and it roared with an energy that was both mesmerizing and intimidating. The path along the riverbank was impassable, leading them to the conclusion that they must swim across. At the river's edge, the first monk, a wise and patient figure named Tenzin, assessed the situation carefully. He understood that crossing this turbulent river would not be easy, and that his companions would need guidance and support. With a steady resolve, he murmured to the others, "We will help one another. Let us hold hands and swim together through the trials that await us." His words echoed wisdom, for isn't life itself often an unpredictable current, where we must rely on one another to overcome the waves? The other monks nodded, drawing strength from Tenzin's confidence and experience. One by one, they formed a line, hand in hand, stepping into the water with renewed determination. As the current licked at their bodies, Tenzin led the way, feeling the pull of the river against him. The water was cold, sending shivers through their spines while their feet searched for purchase on the slippery riverbed. The first monk turned back to his companions, calling out words of encouragement. "Remember, do not let go of each other's hands. We are stronger together." With each stroke, the monks encountered resistance. The water thrashed against them, and it seemed as though the river was determined to keep them apart. But with grit and perseverance, they urged one another forward. Tenzin's steady grip on the second monk, Lobsang, became a lifeline. Lobsang held on tightly to Tenzin with unwavering faith, focusing on the warmth of his companion's hand. He swam diligently until they reached the river's midpoint. As they progressed, Lobsang turned to encourage the third monk, Pema, who held the hand of the fourth monk, Covey. "Keep going, brothers. The shore is within reach." Lobsang shouted, his voice barely cutting through the roar of the water surrounding them. But the river's currents rebelled against their collective efforts, and suddenly a swift surge struck, causing Lobsang to stumble. In a moment of panic, he nearly released Tenzin's hand. With swift reflexes, Tenzin tightened his grip, pulling Lobsang back into the fold. "Do not let go," Tenzin implored. "We are more powerful as one." In that moment, Lobsang realized that these trials had less to do with the physical challenges of crossing the river and everything to do with their unity and support for one another. They were not simply 4 monks. They were a single entity battling against the forces of nature, and every time one faltered, the others were there to lift him back up. As Tenzin pushed on, the water began to relent, and the river's turbulence lessened. He could see the shores of the opposite bank growing clearer, and hope surged in his heart. In turn, he urged Lobsang, "Focus on the shore." The mantra traveled down the line. Lobsang relayed the message to Pema, and Pema to Covey. Soon, the words transformed into an anthem of resilience, a shared focus. The shore is within reach. Through the mixture of exhaustion, determination, and the bond they had forged, the monks pressed forward until finally, they scaled the watery summit of the river and emerged, breathless but victorious, onto the solid ground of the opposite bank. Covey, who was the least experienced at swimming, stumbled forward, gasping for breath but full of exhilaration. "Thank you for not letting go of my hand," he said, turning to them. "I thought I would drown." The other monks smiled, soaking in the lessons learned on their treacherous journey. Tenzin sighed with relief, feeling gratitude swell in his chest. It was not just our strength that carried us across, but our faith in one another. Pema, humbled and thoughtful, added, "In the face of adversity, we must hold on to the bonds we share, for they will guide us through life's challenges." He looked down at his wet robes, revealing the stains of struggle. Just as Covey has experienced, we will also stumble in life. But when we hold on to one another, we can navigate through the chaos. Lobsang smiled, realizing the wealth of wisdom that had emerged through their journey. It is our connections that bring meaning to our existence. We must carry this lesson with us, that together we can overcome any challenge. With this profound insight shared among them, the monks continued their journey together on solid ground, their hearts lightened by the bonds they had forged not just in the water, but in their mutual understanding and experiences. Days turned into weeks, and the monks faced other trials along their path. Sometimes it was scorching heat, other times it was unexpected storms, but through each challenge, they refused to let go of each other's hands, both physically and emotionally. They spoke truths, shared fears, celebrated joys, and learned from their experiences, paving the way toward their ultimate destination, enlightenment. As they reached the monastery at last, they looked back at the path they had traveled, the river they had crossed together, the lessons learned, the wisdom gained. They understood that self-improvement and enlightenment are not solitary endeavors, but are enriched when we lean on our community and support one another through the trials of life. In conclusion, the story serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of unity and collaboration. In our own lives, we often face turbulent waters, adversities that seek to distance us from our goals or challenge our resilience. Yet, just like the monks who crossed the river together, we too possess the ability to forge bonds that can help us withstand life's torrents. When we lift each other up, embrace our vulnerabilities, and share our strength, we foster a path filled with compassion and growth. So remember, as you navigate the currents of life, hold on to the hands of others around you. Embrace the support they offer, and in doing so, you may find that it is not merely the destination that matters, but the journey you undertake together.